Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Deluxe Class Autobot Impactor from Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. I have to admit I'm really not that familiar with this character. I believe he was more prominent in the IDW comics, and I believe I was told he is was the leader of the Wreckers previously in the run of that team in the comics. So like I said, I'm really not too familiar. I do apologize, but he looks pretty cool. I'm also told that he was originally a Decepticon and then became an Autobot. I think that's how it works. Because he definitely, with the color scheme, looks like a Decepticon to me. So I have no problem believing that story if he started out as a Decepticon. But you can see he is a yellow and purple tank, robot mode. Here's the tank mode here. Of course, he's compatible with all the Battle Masters, weaponizers, all that stuff, because all the peg holes are the same size throughout the line. So probably not going to bother showing that off for you guys because every figure is compatible with all of them, so it's not really anything new, but really cool artwork here on the side. So that's going to pretty much do it for the packaging. Let's get him out of there and we'll take a closer look. So here is Impactor out of the packaging, and I have to say he looks pretty good. I really like the color scheme. It's definitely a weird combination of colors, especially for an Autobot, but I kind of like it. I think they work well together. He really doesn't have any kibble from the tank mode. I mean, he's got some treads on the sides of his legs, but that's hardly noticeable. I mean, he really looks good as far as that's concerned. No backpack really to speak of. The head sculpt is pretty cool. I'm going to move this up so we can take a closer look. Fairly basic, but I like the kind of frowny face that he's making. I wish the eyes were like a little bit brighter red just so they stood out a little bit more. But other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. You can see the Autobot symbol right here on his chest. Articulation-wise, head can go side to side. This gun is on like a hinge, so I guess if you wanted, you could lift it up like this. It will eventually go back down for the transformation, but for right now, it just kind of hangs out over there as a shoulder cannon. You have out to the side shoulders as well as a spin front to back. You have a bicep swivel, 90 degrees in the elbow. Nothing in the wrist because they swivel into the forearm for the transformation. You can move kind of in the mid-torso. You have a swivel there. For the hip, you can go front to back, out to the side, a pretty nice ratchet. You can hear that there. You have a thigh swivel right above the knee, and then you have the 90 degrees in the knee. And then you do have some ankle tilt, but it kind of can only go so far because of the way it's connected to the body. So it can only go to about there, and then it hits the wall of the leg. So, I mean, I feel like you can still get the poses you need to, but just be aware that the ankle tilt is slightly limited. He does come with two accessories. He's got this gun in a light gray color. Peg that into his hand. And then he's got this little smaller gun, which you can do a number of things with. If you want, you can peg it into the hand. Of course, you could peg it into any of his connector ports. And of course, you can use any of these same connector ports with weaponizers, battle masters, anything like that. You could peg this into the side of the gun if you wanted. Or the other thing you can do is rotate the hand around, and then you can peg it in here and give him kind of like a shockwave gun hand. If you like the look of that, you can do that as well. So a lot of cool options there. You could even just peg it in up top here to the top of the gun if you like. So, like I said, ton of options. He's got a ton of connector ports on the side of the leg, on the side of the gun, on the arms, on the back. So you can have all kinds of fun with weaponizers, battle masters, other guns. Whatever you want, you can really arm this guy to the teeth. Transformation for this guy is actually really simple, but I kind of like it. So the first thing you're going to do is rotate the head around 180 degrees. Just like that. I guess that's not 180 degrees. There we go. Then you're going to open up this little piece here on his back and rotate the head in. And it kind of looks scary, like how am I going to get that back out of there? But there's kind of a little notch, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the way the head is put together, you can see it's kind of two pieces, and there's like a seam here on the mohawk, and you can just kind of get your nail in there to pull the head back out. Again, I don't know if that was intentional or not, and I'm hoping over time it doesn't cause a problem, like breaking the head apart, but otherwise I don't know any other way to really get that out of there. Like if I don't use the notch, it's much harder to get traction trying to pull the head out of there, so we'll see. Anyway, close that back up then. That covers the head. You're going to come rotate the gun back over. Now that can stay like that. You're going to kind of unpeg the torso, or the chest plate I should say, and kind of put that up like that. Put the arms straight forward, and then you can go ahead and rotate those fists in like I showed earlier. You're going to rotate at the bicep swivel 180 degrees. And you're going to see that there is 2 pegs on the bottom of the forearms right here and here. You're going to peg the gun in like this. And then you're going to drop the arms underneath like that so that they kind of fold down. And then you're going to peg the other arm into that. I mean, this is kind of the Hasbro's go-to move for transforming tanks. You see it a lot with Megatron now. You just kind of put a gun in between the 2 arms and then peg it together like that. It's not a problem. It's just, you should be used to it by now. Then you'll see here that there's a little tab on the under part of the chest plate, and that's going to tab into these 2 little spots on top of the forearms. So you just kind of push that down, and that tabs in. And it shores it up really nice. I kind of like that a lot, actually. So if you wanted to have like a crazy tank turret running around on legs, hey, here you go. You're ready. At this point, you're going to kind of just bring the legs, just kind of straighten them out for now. But you're going to, you can see that there's a hinge. See the metal bar right there above his waist? You're going to rotate this forward, and it's kind of tight, I'll be honest. And sometimes it's kind of scary, like you're going to break it. But I promise that this does unhinge. There we go. And then that will drop forward like that. So at this point, you're going to flip out these legs all the way like this. You can fold the toes down. You're going to peg the legs themselves together down in here under the cannon. And then this whole piece, you can see right here, rotates around. And then you can see these 2 large tabs are going to tab in right here, and then there's a similar one on the other one. So you bring this around, and then this tabs in like that. Bring this around, and this tabs in very much the same way. And then there you go. There is your tank mode. You can take the little gun and plug it in on the top. Alright, so here we go. Here is the tank mode. It's a kind of basic little tank mode, but I like it. I wish these ports weren't so obvious in the front. I understand why they're there, because that way if you wanted to do the little gun shockwave thing, but I don't know. Having them so jarring right next to the main cannon just looks a little weird to me. But I guess if you wanted, you could not put this in and put different guns in there. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of playability. But he's still got a ton of ports. He's got these on the side. He still has these on the back. Doesn't have quite as many as in robot mode, obviously, but he's got some little pegs here, so if you wanted to put like blast effects and things like that, you could do that. But between this cannon and this cannon and this cannon, he's got a pretty decent amount of firepower. He's got the little battle damage here. I mean, it's kind of nice. It really just kind of looks like the silver here, you know, caused some damage, but you can see he's got it all on the side and down here, so the trademark siege battle damage. I'm wondering if now that we're going to Earth, that'll stop because you're not walking around a planet of metal anymore. So maybe they'll have mud instead. No, I hope they don't. I really don't. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, he's a pretty cool little tank. Remember that weird like mid-torso swivel that I showed you earlier? That was so you could move the turret in tank mode. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, he's a basic little tank, but I like him. He's definitely got enough firepower. He's even got these little cannons molded in down here. You can certainly add more with weaponizers and battle masters. And yeah, just overall, pretty cool little tank configuration there. I think Impactor's pretty cool. Obviously, I don't have that much of a connection to the character because I haven't read the comics that he's featured in. But so going into it with like no knowledge of the character, I think it's a pretty cool toy. I like the color scheme. I like the robot mode. I like the tank mode. The transformation is kind of simplistic, but it's still fun. Sometimes it's nice to have one that's not overly complicated, and it's just kind of fun to transform back and forth. I'm also just noticing he has these little bit lighter yellow things on his shins that almost kind of look like weird 8-bit skulls to me. I don't know if that's intentional or not, or if I'm just reading into that, but kind of a neat little design there. So again, I think he's cool. Accessories are nice. Obviously, like I said, he's compatible with all the weaponizers and the battle masters. I was trying to think about what they could possibly repaint him into, because I know that they've kind of do that with every mold that they come up with, and they've really already done like a Decepticon version of Impactor. I think the head sculpt is slightly different, but otherwise I think the toy is pretty similar. I don't know. I'll have to watch a video or something to see someone who actually compares the two. But he's locked in a 3-pack with a translucent blue Mirage, which I guess is supposed to be like an invisible version of Mirage, and then the third Power Dasher. So I haven't decided if I'm going to get that 3-pack or not. I really only want the Power Dasher, and I only kind of mildly want him at best. I don't really need 2 versions of Impactor. I mean, if it was like 2 versions of a character I loved, I would probably consider it, but since I don't know that much about Impactor, and I'm not really that, like, what's the word I want to use here? Invested in the character, I guess. I don't need both his Autobot and Decepticon version. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I would say pick this guy up. You know, if you can find him at Target or Walmart or somewhere, I think he's fun. Definitely give him a look. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.